All right, so I'm going to begin my analysis series of light novels, and I'm beginning with Volume 12 of Classroom of the Elite. I'm going to give my thoughts on each special exam, how I think Iona Koji-kun can solve each and every problem, how he can win the special exams, and then I'll see how he solves the problem himself, and then I'll discuss how whether or not I foresaw that solution that he developed or if he did something that I couldn't even have imagined. So this will be a lot of fun. If anyone wants to join me and would also love to discuss this, I'm looking for other people to join me on a podcast where we discuss and analyze light novels, new manga chapters coming out, new Jujutsu Kaisen, new Chainsaw Man chapters, new Hunter x Hunter chapters. I read dozens of different light novels, dozens of different manga, watch hundreds of different anime. So I'm looking for people to have discussions with. We can do it over Skype or any other video chat, and then go back and forth with our discussions to sit me up. But anyway, let's start with the analysis video. Um, Now, I'm in chapter 2 of volume 12, and Iona Koji has the problem of pairing up with the first year student but not knowing which student is the white room student. For me, it's very simple what the solution is. The app shows him to have poor academic abilities, but it's quite easy for him to prove to any first year student that he's actually very academically gifted. He can approach any first year student that looks promising and say, hey, listen, you'll see on the app that I'm graded at, I believe it was C in academics, but I've actually been hiding how good I am academically, and I can prove it. You can ask me any question about history, English, math, you name it, any subject. You can quiz me on all 8 subjects, and I will give the right answer to any question you ask me. Here's this textbook, here's that textbook. If you are good with English, you can speak with me in English, and I'm perfectly fluent in English. Um, you can ask me any mental arithmetic, and I will do it in my head and give you the correct answer. You can use a calculator if you like. For history, ask me any historical question, and I'll give the right answer. You can even look up the answers online. You can look up questions online for any subject, and I promise you, I'll give you the correct answers. Um, and then he could just give his usual excuse of that he doesn't like to stand out, or he could say he was depressed last year, whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, and of course, there's a number of different ways he could go about making sure that student doesn't tell anybody else. I haven't thought about how he would go about ensuring that first year student wouldn't tell other people that he's been hiding his abilities, but um, perhaps I'll think about that later and provide my thoughts on that. How Iona Kijun-kun will actually go about doing this, I don't know. If he doesn't proactively approach a first year student and prove it that he's actually stronger than what the app says, then he ends up not being able to choose a partner, and it's chosen at random which first year student he'll be paired with. It'll obviously be the white room student. The current uh, temporary chairman of the school will make sure he's randomly paired with the white room student. So he can't allow that to happen. He has to get a first year student to agree to be his partner. And I think the sooner he does that, the better, because the white room student will be not choosing a partner, waiting to strike. He'll probably also work as quickly as possible to disparage Iona Koji-kun's name, accuse him of things, ruin his reputation so that no first year student will want to pair up with him. So he has to be fast. Before that, white room student can go about ruining his reputation in the school and preventing any other first year student from considering even partnering up with him. He could say the first year white room student could set up a situation where if it's a girl, she could go up to him and say, "Oh, he touched me. He grabbed me all of a sudden. He sexually assaulted me, whatever." And then there wouldn't be any proof and all that. They could do it somewhere where there isn't cameras. So and she could actually get him expelled that way if she did it in the right manner. But there's a bunch of different ways. She could just spread rumors, say she knew Anna Kujikun in middle school and he did something terrible, blah blah blah. He or she could make up a bunch of different rumors. I don't know if it's a guy or girl yet. I'm still only in chapter 2. I haven't even gotten to chapter 3 yet. So I just found out what the problem is. That's the solution I have. What solution would you go about utilizing in order to make sure you don't you want to end up with a weight room student? What do you think Ayano Kujikun is going to do? What do you think about my solution to the problem? And how do you think what do you think would be a good way to make sure that if you showed a first year student that you're actually highly academically gifted, how would you make sure that student wouldn't go about telling other students? Could maybe you form a contract, dividing contract, like Ryun did with Class A in the Deserted Island test? Something like that. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how you could go about ensuring that first year student wouldn't tell other students that he's been hiding his strength. I'm not sure how you could go about that yet. But anyway, that's my solution. And again, anyone wants to talk to me about this, I am in Sky Wish's Discord channel, and I'm always looking for people to have good discussions with. And again, if you want to discuss this over audio, we could do an audio-only podcast where we discuss any light novel you want, any manga you want, or we could do video and we can make it a podcast and publish it and start something like, Trash Taste Highlights, that group podcast that Giguk and other Anitubers have, obviously over, Skype, Zoom, whatever, until we set up a studio. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment below. I will be continuing to provide analysis of Classroom of the Elite, because that's what I'm primarily going with now. But I'll also be doing reviews of different animes that I'm watching. I want to talk about all these overpowered isekai trash shows that I hate, where the character just automatically wins at everything, he has no challenges, and just everything is just lands in his lap, and everything great is just handed to him on a silver platter without him having to overcome any weaknesses, having to undergo any character development, not having to suffer at all. I don't know why people write this trash where the character is just a blank slate character with no real personality. He starts off as a random loser and then gets a cheat skill in real life or whatever, and he's just all of a sudden great at everything, and when he fights he just one hits everything, and it's like One Punch Man without comedy. Like, he doesn't have any challenging fights whatsoever. He's super overpowered and just super boring because there's no challenges. He's gonna win at everything. He's not gonna suffer. He's not gonna lose anyone or anything. He's always gonna win. It's so fucking boring. You know what I'm talking about? And I got a cheat skill in another world or whatever. That show is awful. But I'll talk about that in another video. And that's my personal opinion.